Hello everyone, it's Midnight Cinema 7 here again with another wonderful album review. Actually, it's your choice to judge whether they're wonderful or not, but I seem to think I'm pretty good at this. Okay, this next review was a suggestion by a fellow channel on here, A Big Bowl of Maddie, one of my good friends, who recommended to me that I listen and review the album Duality by Set It Off. Not Duality by, I believe, Slipknot, that's another album. But, yeah, Set It Off is a group that I had heard of before and knew one song of, but other than that one song, I really don't know much else. And the one song that I had heard, which is A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, was very good and very fun, and it's a great song to just listen to and I guess dance along to, maybe. I sing along to it every time I hear it. I know all the words. It's a really fun song. So I was excited to listen to this album. First thing you notice about this group, it slightly reminds me of another group called Get Scared, which you may know some of their songs like Don't You Dare Forget the Sun, or something like that, and Sarcasm. The lead singer of this band, however, reminds me a bit of Kellen Quinn and Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers. Like, especially his younger sounding voice, not his older one. Though they are pretty much the same. And his voice is slightly annoying at times, but I think I can get over that for the overall, like, especially Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Like, I can get over his voice sounding a little whiny at times for the fact that the song is just really good, and his delivery is good. In a lot of the songs on this album, there are just, like, kind of random speaking parts he does. I kind of like those, they're clever and fun. They liven up the song a bit. However, the album art itself is bleak, and in a way, I think for me that is kind of reflective of the album as a whole. It's a lot of gray and just a bit of blue and silver, and I know the design is there, like the triangle with this in the middle of this thing. I think that's their symbol. I know that's their symbol and all, but like they could have done a much better color scheme for it because this just looks bleak and boring and it's not fun. So yeah, let's start with the beginning of the album. The song is called The Haunting. It starts out with this like music box sound, and immediately my brain goes, that's Panic at the Disco. And then he starts singing, and I think, is this in sync? A lot of the songs on this album sound like boy band songs, and because it sounds like part Panic at the Disco and part in sync, it's not a very good song. The Haunting is not one of their best, but then again, it's not that bad either. His voice is especially kind of whiny in this song, and for that reason I gave that a neutral rating. The next song is called NME, letters, as in a acronym for No More Excuses, which is a line that's repeated throughout this song. And also, if you say it fast, it sounds like the word enemy, which is, I guess, kind of clever. I'll give them props for that. It's kind of one of those Britney Spears If You Seek Amy type things, if you know about that song. This song, the like backing beat kind of sounds Creature Feature like, and I feel like that's kind of what they're going for in this song. It's kind of working, but it's not quite there. It's just an overall like generic hate song, but it's pretty fun. And they have a speaking part in this song where he talks about like if anyone, like, it's a marriage going on, and if anyone objects to this marriage or something like that. And it kind of reminded me of Panic at the Disco with the whole I write sins, not tragedies thing. Like, in this, they have some Panic at the Disco related things. they kind of sound like a fever you can't sweat out in some parts, and other parts it sounds like well, they're right here. These two albums. Panic at the Disco is a fever you can't sweat out, and partially like Panic at the Disco Vices and Virtues. And sometimes it works in their songs. It kind of worked in The Haunting, and it kind of worked in this one, but in other songs it kind of just fails. So I gave that song kind of like a good at best rating. The next one is called Forever Stuck in Our Youth, which I said it's good, but by good I meant it's listenable. You can listen to it and not be completely revolted. The chorus of this song sounds like bro country to me, and most of the song in general sounds like bro country. Kind of sounds like the new Nickelback stuff. It's not that bad, but it's not that good either. And also, some of his like singing style reminded me once again of NSYNC. The next song is called Why Worry, and I said it was good-ish. It's like, again, it's tolerable. For some reason, I feel like this song should be on like the soundtrack to The Walking Dead as like one of those end credit songs. It's feel good, it's pop-ish, it's still kind of country again, but more like borough country. You find out in that song that the singer that I believe his name's Aaron, I'm probably wrong. Karen? I don't remember what his name is. We find out that he's not a bad rapper towards like the second verse. They have like a guitar in the song that sounds kind of like Panic again, like Panic keeps coming up. They have like little elements of that in there. At the end, he did like a little weird thing that kind of sounded like another boy band or Justin Bieber or something. That was like in the third verse. And while not really completely liking it, I found that this song was easy to sing along to, and for that reason, I gave it a goodish rating. The next song, Ancient History, is quite enjoyable. However, when I first started listening to it, the first few notes and going through the first part of it, it sounded like Beautiful Day by U2, which is my least favorite song in the entire world. I refuse to listen to it. It's not a fun song. It sounds like a generic love song. It also sounds a lot like 5 Seconds of Summer, One Direction, but at the same time, it's trying to be edgy, so I guess you could say like All Time Low. Yeah. Next song is called Bleak December. I said this song was pretty neutral for me. It sounds like another 90s boy band, especially at the beginning because it has that kind of beat from like It's Gonna Be Me or It's Gonna Be May, you know, that song. It's another generic kind of hate song, like hate of I really don't know the stories in these songs. Like they're so like generic that it's easy to attribute these songs to anyone you would want, and that's like a good quality in some songs, but like he just makes metaphors and things that just aren't interesting or captivating, but he does have one in this uh where he mentions her having like 50 different personalities, this girl that he's talking about, and how that like made their like relationship or friendship like not easy to work with. And I like that one. Um in the chorus, he at the end of each chorus he uses like a random curse. I don't even remember which one it is, but like, and it doesn't sound good there. They do curse a lot on this record, but like it's not most of the time it's not cleverly used. It just sounds like they're trying to be edgy for like no reason. And I've noticed this with a lot of artists, and it's not something I really mind, but like especially with this artist, like every third verse, like the ending verse before they do the chorus one last time, is always slow. No matter if it's a slower song or a faster song, their third verse is like always slow. And I don't know what it is about that, but I kind of didn't like that in this particular album. Next song is the title track off this album, Duality. And this song is bad. This song is really bad. Uh, First off, like when I first listened to the first lyric, and he said something to the something to the respect of like I can't help these evil thoughts, they're part of me, or I can't help my evil ways. And immediately I just paused it. I'm like, first off, buddy, I don't sense any evil in your soul. It just kind of sounded like an edgy, pathetic attempt at being like, ooh, I'm so broken inside. And what really didn't help is I don't like pointing out the video because I don't think the video should have to determine whether your song is good or not. Particularly, there's some videos that I really don't like, but I love the song. And I don't think that should really have to play a part in my decision, but it was hilarious because I was watching the video for it, and it starts off with him wearing pretty normal clothing for an emo band, because I don't think they're really that emo. And he's acting like Justin Bieber, pointing at the camera like that a lot, and doing all these trying to look smooth and sexy and cute like Justin Bieber does. The lighting also in the video reminded me a lot of Justin Bieber. It faded to blue a lot and then to red when he thought he was being dangerous. And there was a video girl in it, a generic video girl. It made no sense. And it just sounded very ooh, I'm so broken, but you want me, and it was bad, really bad. The third verse, which had more of a talking part to it, where he's listing things like "I'm good, I'm evil," and his voice was actually lower in that part because most of the time his voice is at a higher octaves, like Kellen Quinn or something. But that part, I felt like, oh, maybe there actually is a possibility that you could convince me that you're evil. And he has the ability to do that. It's not just saying he sounds like a child or he has a high voice and that means it's kind of more funny than actually it could be that I can actually believe that he could be kind of crazy. No, the next song will definitely prove to you, and it definitely proves to me, that he has potential to be this kind of crazy, I don't give a crap about you character, and I have evil thoughts and I can't control them. This song does not do that personality he's trying to make justice. The next song does. Wolf in Sheep's Clothing is probably their best song ever. It's freaking amazing. It's fun, it's jazzy. I don't know if I'm saying that this instrument is correct, but I believe in the song they use the kazoo, and they're able to make the kazoo sound really cool in this song. And I mean, I have to give them props for that. That's just amazing. This song, to me, is their absolute true potential. Throughout this song, they have a lot of songs where, throughout this album, they have a lot of songs where they are trying to sound edgy, and it kind of comes off as pathetic and kind of weak. This song, they do it perfectly. This song is definitely from the point of view of a guy who just is sick of someone's crap that he's getting, and he just wants to make their life a living hell. And it's like a guy with no remorse, and he's just ready to end all this BS that's going on with whatever this relationship or friendship was. And it's fun, and it's jazzy, and there's a speaking part towards the end where he's just yelling and going off on this person. And yes, he curses, but it's not like it's, ooh, I'm edgy. It's like, no, I hate you and I'm angry at you and I want you to burn in hell. And it sounds legitimate, and it sounds like, yeah, sounds like realistic, like this guy actually really does hate someone. And also, I know this is kind of more of a side note, but this song gave me inspiration for a character in Dungeons and Dragons that I was making, and it's a really fun character to play with now using that kind of personality. So, thanks to this song for that inspiration. The next song is called Tomorrow, featuring Jason Lancaster. I said this song was neutral. It also reminds me of One Direction, a bit of the Ready Set for some reason. Do you remember them? Love Like Whoa. Also reminds me of 5 Seconds of Summer. It's uplifting, but it's generally generic. But it's not really bad either. It's not Duality. It's okay. The next song is called Neutral. Towards the slow part, if you listen to it, especially towards the beginning, you notice there are these slow parts he goes into, and I don't know why, it kind of reminds me of Katy Perry circa, like, Firework. Most of the song has an acoustic guitar, like, the douche with acoustic guitar type thing. I also believe this should be in a Walking Dead end credits scene. I don't know why, I see that being it there. That's not a bad thing either. Some of the songs from the Walking Dead soundtrack are like very good, but it's like, it sounds like kind of average kind of rock. This was a neutral song for me, but it was so like generic and boring for me. I kept like seeing how much longer I had left in the song to go, because it was like the 10th out of 11th song on this album, and I was ready to end this album because it was just so boring. And the last song, like the last song on my last album review for Blurry Face by 21 Pilots, the last song is a slow one. And it's a song called Miss Mysterious. I find this song to be pretty dang good. Right after Wolf in Sheep's Clothing, I think this is one of their better songs. Immediately I noticed they kind of stole the riff from Someone Like You by Adele. I'm okay with that. It was a good song. Especially towards the end with him sounding kind of like Christina Aguilera. This sounded like an audition for The Voice. And I was just in my head I was just seeing people like screaming in a crowd, because I could see this being one of those like audition songs. It also seems, especially towards the end, one of those songs that at like a concert or sporting event you would hold up your lighters. Seems like one of those. And the very like last few seconds of this song are big and epic in like a Broadway way, and it reminded me of Elephant Love Medley from Moulin Rouge. And I'm thinking to myself like, wow, that was epic, and that song was actually pretty good, especially because of that ending. But this album didn't need a big and epic send-off. It's not like it was a Panic at the Disco album or a Queen album. It was just generic, and I don't think it really needed like a huge send-off. But I'm glad they did it, because it was very nice and enjoyable to listen to. Overall, I give this album, Duality, a 5 out of 10 at best. And that is mostly just because of the songs Miss Mysterious and Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Of course, I believe the worst song in this album was Duality, and overall I gave it a 5. Can't judge the band completely on this album alone, because that's the only stuff that I've heard from them. But if I had to describe to anyone who doesn't know the band, Set It Off is like the dollar store emo. It doesn't try very hard, and frankly, it's not very emo. It's just kind of generic, and while not unlikable per se, it's meh. It's listenable. It's the thing that, if there's nothing else on, I guess I'll listen to this. But for the album itself, Duality is the perfect way to describe the album in total. probably not the way they were going for. They were probably looking for more deep the album, the duality between good and evil. However, the real duality in this is between not trying, not showing your full potential, and doing just the opposite of that and making something great. And that's how I see it for Set It Off so far. I hope you like this review, and if you want to give me any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Have a good day or week or whatever, and I'll see you later.